Kawhi Leonard is one of the biggest superstars in the NBA today, but he's also one of the most criticized due to his inability to maintain a clean bill of health. On one hand, some Clippers fans will look back at that Raptors championship and say things like, "We just need that one healthy run with Kawhi to win it all." And on the other hand, you have fans who are completely out on the Kawhi experience because, with his health, they already know what to expect. The conundrum here is that both sides aren't necessarily wrong. When healthy, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better overall player than Kawhi. But again, how often is this man healthy? With Kawhi's health spiraling downwards yet again, and with the Clippers not outright owning their 2025 first-round pick, both the team and Kawhi have been faced with a diabolical scenario that's a whole lot uglier than you would expect. But first, today's content is brought to you guys by Underdog, the people who are making fantasy sports easier than ever. With Underdog, just decide if you're going to go higher or lower on a projection. Do this 2 to 8 times and you'll have the chance to win big. Now when you guys click the link in the description to sign up for Underdog, make sure to use my code COOP, because with code COOP, you can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash along with a free pick. And it's a great way to support the channel. Thank you Underdog for the sponsor. Last year, after making a controversial move for James Harden, the Clippers would start slow, but then the Clippers would flip a switch and emerge from the depths of mediocrity as one of the hottest teams in the league. Everything had finally seemed to be clicking, and the Clippers had shown that they could hang among the league's elite. That is, until history would inevitably repeat itself. You guessed it, we would be faced with yet another Kawhi Leonard injury. Following a win at Charlotte March 31st, Kawhi would begin to experience inflammation in his surgically repaired knee. This inflammation caused him to miss the final 8 games of the regular season and had him play just 2 games in the postseason when the Clippers needed him the most. No Kawhi meant no problem for the Dallas Mavericks, but I'm not even sure Kawhi could have saved the Clippers from Luka's reign, as it seemed as if the Mavericks were destined for the finals. But with him healthy, they certainly would have at least offered more resistance than they did. The Clippers falling in 6 games to the Mavericks would force Clippers fans to look towards the offseason. There, Clippers fans would only be faced with more disappointment. And when I say disappointment, I mean disappointment. Clippers fans wouldn't even get to root on their star being a part of Team USA. And that's because Team USA would send Kawhi Leonard home early because of his knee issues. USA Basketball Executive Director Grant Hill said that they had to do what was in the best interest of the team and that they had to pivot. When he was asked about what went into this decision, he would keep it confidential and plead the fifth, but it was obvious what was going on. Kawhi Leonard was in no shape to be competing at the international level. This same offseason, the Clippers would go on to lose a Paul George who, according to him, never wanted to leave, but did so because he felt like the Clippers' initial offer was disrespectful. This same offseason, the Clippers would also trade Westbrook. All of a sudden, the Clippers' big 3 plus Westbrook would be cut down to just the big 2 of Harden and Kawhi. But can you even call it a big 2 if one of the 2 is never available? 2 weeks ago, it would be reported that Kawhi suffered a setback after Team USA training camp, and with inflammation in his right knee, he would be sidelined indefinitely as he tried to rehabilitate that knee. Indefinitely, meaning that they don't have any sort of timeline for a return, which of course is brutal. And the thing is, even with a timeline, how much faith can you have that everything is going to go smooth? Now, the good news is that the Clippers have tons of potential. Losing Paul George this offseason might have been the best thing that could have happened to this team. In losing Paul George, the Clippers would load up on elite role players who have helped to make up an elite defense. You put an elite defense around a creator like Harden, and you have a problem for anybody on any given night, which If the Clippers pick up momentum, then I'm going to break down exactly how fun and dangerous that they can be. Zubac has looked like a top 15 big, and the Clippers are doing the unthinkable, trying to unleash Rockets Harden. I think that it'd be a fun breakdown. Who wouldn't want to see a video on this beautiful mess? So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you guys don't miss that upload or any upload for that matter. So the Clippers have looked like they're a Kawhi away. That's the good news. Now for the bad news. The bad news is that this Kawhi wormhole digs deeper than I ever could have imagined. According to Chris Haynes, former Clippers trainer Randy Shelton is suing the franchise for wrongful termination after he was fired after complaining that Kawhi was being subjected to unsafe and illegal treatment for injuries. I'm not a law student, I don't study law, but that's probably something that you're not too happy about being sued for. But wait, there's more. Shelton, who has maintained a relationship with Kawhi Leonard since his college days at SDSU, also alleges that in this lawsuit, the Clippers were tampering with Leonard for years before he signed with the team in 2019. All of this happening while Kawhi is still technically on the team blows my mind. It just really seems like there's a lot going on here. Kawhi's decision to come to Los Angeles was because of him wanting to come back home and build a legacy. And while him and Paul George have taken this franchise the furthest that it's ever been, that may be overshadowed by whatever in the world is happening right now. What they've done for this franchise might also be overshadowed by the fact that they gave up enough to put OKC on the fast track to becoming a dynasty just to pair these two together. And this is in no way me blaming the Clippers for what they did. Paul George was coming off of a near MVP season in OKC, and Kawhi was coming off of a legendary playoff run in Toronto where he carried them to a chip. I'd prefer to take a swing like that and live with the results than be too scared to take a swing at all. So you guys know where I stand on this whole debacle. Now I want to know where you guys stand. With what we know now, do you guys think that the pairing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George was worth it for the Clippers? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I really want the Clippers to be good this year. I want the Clippers' new arena, the Intuit Dome, to be booming, not filled with regrets and what ifs. Anyways guys, there's some more going on in the basketball world right now that I need to be covering. Clicking the video on the screen right now and using code COOP for Underdog are great ways to support this channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.